So, and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCT Center, and also I am true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide mentor, co-creator, and galactic ambassador from Pleiadians. And together with me today again is Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morgan has been called healer of healers as a way to describe unique spiritual tools she shares. Morgan is here to serve those who see great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have the deep desire to integrate consciousness, that consciousness in the 3D world. And also, of course, he's Adept visionary spiritual guide, ceremonialist, and artist. And I can speak about Morgan another hour or so, and I still cannot describe her.
That's what happens when you have ancient beings show up, right?
Yeah, if I have to tell about all your lifetimes and experiences and so on, we go on for days.
Well, the only one that's relevant is where I am right now, right? And but all the other experiences I've had um, are part of who I am right now, and all were necessary in order for me to be here at this time on this planet with all that is occurring right now. I need all of those gifts and talents and awarenesses and ahas. I need all of that in order to, um, to be present here and to assist. It's interesting. My niece just had a baby, so he's my great nephew. I love that. So
Congratulations.
thank you. That's a miracle in itself because she was never supposed to be able to have a baby, and here we go. There's bigger plans than us, right? But one of the things that I said to her, as the day he was born, it comes in the year of the dragon. He's born a Taurus, and he was born the under the full moon in Scorpio. He's got all these power symbols in his chart, and I've not done his chart or anything. I'm not an expert in that. I would leave that to an expert. But just to think about the energies that he comes in with, I know that he already possesses a lot, because all the beings that are coming in now are potent, powerful visionaries and beings who can assist to the awakening of what we are doing. And really, it's an awakening because it's like humanity went to sleep and humanity forgot who they were. And, we won't go into if that was deliberate or not, even though you probably know what I think about that.
I I know exactly what you're talking about because I reading now Aurora's book.
Hmm.
I and
Aurora
I
wrote a book.
yes, and
Cool.
I was like, my God, at least now I understand where everything starts from because I had pieces. Yeah,
Yeah.
pieces which one sort of didn't fit because obviously I didn't listen about monkeys and school and all rest of it, yeah. But all those pieces which I knew is true sort of didn't fit for me completely. But in this book, it was like, okay, now I understand all this beginning.
Yeah, that girl's tapped in. That girl's totally tapped in. She's a brilliant light in our world. I'm so grateful to share this earth time with her. I sometimes, I if people are interested in her work, you can go to 5ddisclosure.com and you can read about her work. Or if you're on Telegram, you can go to her 5D Disclosure Telegram page. She's very active in the world of healing and helping people remember who they are. And so I feel honored to be able to, but again, she's called to be here at this time. There's a bunch of us potent, powerful people coming on that need to be here to hold a particular frequency so we can wake up, so that we can awaken from what was dumbed down in us and what was turned off in us, and begin to make some different choices about the way that we conduct our lives, our beingness, the foods we eat, the thoughts we put in our heads, the beliefs we choose to hold on to. All of those things are important at this time, so that we're not still trapped in that lower dense frequency of, victimhood, all that stuff we talk about on that scale of consciousness, that lower frequency that keeps you in a dumbed down, numbed out, unconscious state. So yeah, it's an honor to walk with her and you and Jeannie, if she gets here.
I do hope she will get here, but I just check again emails and no email back from her. But
Yeah,
I sent invite, so let's hope.
yeah. So we're just in the most amazing time ever right now. And not sometimes, some people are angry what's going on, upset, all of that. And that's kind of wasted energy, right? That's just, don't waste your beautiful energy on being angry or upset. Stay focused on who you are, why you're here, what your gifts are, how you can amplify those gifts. Stay focused on that, and not on the outer world. It's really important right now, because we come as a frequency. Some people say, well, what's my purpose? What's my purpose, right? What am I supposed to do? We get hooked into the doingness. The truth is, we are a frequency, and our frequency is needed here at this time. And if you did nothing more than just showed up and just were your authentic self, and you play and you paint and you you cook and you just do that, you're doing what you came here to do, to bring.
I laughing. I at the moment laughing because I was speaking with my guides in my automatic writing a few days back, and I was asking what new I need to do, because I done few things what they tell me to do. Yeah, I done them, and what new I want to know you, because I get on new roles now, and I'm very eager to somehow fulfill those roles, and it sounds very grand, and I don't feel grand, and so, and I was asking about those my roles and what I need now to do, and they just be,
Yeah, yeah,
just be, and that's already enough. Yeah.
yep. There's beingness and there's doingness, right? If we look at those two concepts, our doingness, usually what we are doing is it's all an external thing, right? But we've equated our worthiness with our doingness. That's really sick. Right? Because if we do something wrong, we've equated we're unworthy. It's like our worthiness has been hooked with our doingness. And it just cracks me up when you meet new people, what they ask you, what do you do? What do you do? Because that's what people believe is important. They believe what you do in the world is important. And here we are saying, no, it's your beingness, right? Now, out of the beingness, so what does that even mean, right? Your beingness, it's just chunking down into who you are, fully accepting who and what you are, how you showed up on the planet, what those gifts, those talents are inside of you. It's not what other people have told you, or, it's what you discover about yourself. So being in this world, and whatever you're doing, do it from your beingness. Don't do it from, I got to do this because I got to be the best, or I got to, all that pressure to infuse your worthiness into your doingness. Just do out of your beingness, right? That's how I paint. I when I am, it doesn't matter what state of mind. So I've been in grief. Is grief wrong? No, it's a state of beingness. It means something has happened to disrupt your frequency here, and and you're being called to something different, like letting go. You're being called to let go. Humans don't really know how to let go because they're way into attachment. We talked about this a little bit earlier off camera, that people get attached. So the grief becomes out of proportion, right? There's grief, like I had to let go of a beautiful energy that was a dog, a Doberman, beautiful sage. And this dog was amazing, just so filled with love and goodness and connection, just this deep connection. She was funny because whenever I would hang out with her, and she would know when I was needed to leave. She'd always take and hide one of my shoes. She was attached.
Very smart.
She was totally attached to me staying. But so I had to say goodbye to her. And, yeah, there's some sadness that I'm not going to get to hang out with her, or watch her quirky habits, or search for my shoe when I need to leave, But I know that it was just her body that left, and I know that spirit, that joy that was that dog, is still very much alive. And it's just the same way with our ancestors. It's the same way. It's there is, and we talk about that in Course in Miracles. There is no death. There's just a changing of energy, and a changing of energy. So yeah, grief. So it's just being authentic in the moment with whatever you're feeling, right? And when you can be authentic in the moment, then the grief doesn't go on and on and on and on. It's just it's a flow of energy, and it's the capacity to release the suffering, capacity to release the pain. So I don't know how we got on that, but
I
we
think
brought up.
because we started already before we start camera. We started already on this note, so that's
Yeah,
how.
yeah, and there, it's all a cycle, right? I've also had a birth of a dear baby this week too, so I had death and I had birth, and it was such a beautiful flow of how life really is. Uh, we have all of those aspects. We have all of that. So, but one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about, and a quote came out, and I want to share my screen for a moment, if that's okay with you, Daga.
Okay, of course.
Okay, it's just a quote, and I want our listeners to think about this. Uh,
Don't have yet.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay, so when? Oh, there it is. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Okay.
And now we all see it.
Great. So this quote keeps coming to me. So when things keep coming to me, I go, oh, I'm going to pay attention. And so I thought I'd share it. And this is from uh, Esther Hicks, who channels an entity called Abraham. And maybe many of our listeners have heard of Esther Hicks and her Abraham teachings that come through. And one of these teachings is this quote right here. When you believe something is hard, the universe demonstrates the difficulty. When you believe something is easy, the universe demonstrates the ease. Now, what a fabulous quote that is. Because if you take and you look at this, first of all, what are the components in this? The main component is what you believe. So when we believe something is hard, or life is hard, or relationships are hard, or making money is hard, or anything like that, if we have a belief in that, the universe can only bring back to us the demonstration of our belief. So and then of course the opposite of this is when we believe something is easy, my life flows, um, uh, the making money is easy, love relationships are easy, family is easy. When we begin to look at our belief systems around our life, we began to have a more of a demonstration of what it is we want in our lives. So, we were talking about grief before. If I believed grief was just going to take me down, and it has before in the past, I've had grief experiences that I felt like I was going to die, right? But the truth is, I had to look at my belief system around that. So, Dega, I'm gonna stop sharing that because I think everybody has it. When you believe something is hard, the universe demonstrates the difficulty. When you believe something is easy, the universe demonstrates the ease. So I'm going to stop sharing that for a moment. So let's see if I can get that down. Can you see me okay now?
Yes, I see you.
Okay. So remember one of our when we first started hanging out, we talked about beliefs, right? And inherent in a belief can be a lie, right? So we get these belief systems within us, and we can look at our lives and the demonstrations of our lives to actually know what it is we believe. The good thing is, and the cool thing is, you can change a belief. It's not set in stone. It's just something, it's a story that we've told ourselves over and over and over and over again, and then we begin to believe it. So you can look at families that are in poverty, right? You can look at families that say, oh, we're poor. We're never going to have more than, the stories that are told in families of poverty are very different than the stories that are told within a family that has wealth. Um, the stories that are told in families that have genetic illness or illnesses in their family are very different than the stories that are told in healthy, active families. So you see, it's those stories. It's those stories. Now you can choose to begin to believe it. So in a family of poverty, there might be a rogue person and then yeah, no, that's not true for me. No, I don't believe that, because I can see over here there's something else happening. How do they do that? You become curious, right? So curiosity will begin to break apart a belief that's not working for you. So if you come from a family of, we'll stick with the poverty thing, right? So if you have an impoverished family, you can look back into that family and go, oh yeah, that's a story that was told from them, and from the great grandmother and the great, you can go back. Oh, these are beliefs that were instilled in our family, but they're not the truth. They're just beliefs. And remember, inherent is the lie within the beliefs. So, so the beautiful thing is that you can change the story, right? You can change the story. So if a person comes from an impoverished family structure and they have a different idea, they can go, well, and you've seen it happen over and over with people who, that come out of families that you wonder how they got out of that, right? I come from a family where there was a lot of different weird stories going on, and I could have chosen to hang my hat on some of that, and some of my siblings did, right? They followed the ways of my father. Um, I could have chosen to follow the ways of my father, but I didn't believe in that. I believed in something different for myself. So when we look at our lives, and when our listeners are looking at their lives, look at your life in terms of what's going on in your life. What's the demonstration in your life that um, isn't feeling good? You got like, oh, that it's not right, it doesn't feel good, I feel sad, or whatever that is, and you'll know that's a demonstration that you're really not in resonance with it, because you're going, wait a minute, this is different. Something's different. So if we want the universe to bring back our demonstration of what it is we truly want, we need to change the story around it. So I invite all our listeners to examine their lives this week and look at their lives where, things are not in harmony with what they know is true, and invite in a new story, invite a new way. And it could be a story of triumph over the hardship. It could be, which is a beautiful story to tell. It could be, and I look at my niece, right? She was told she would never have a baby, right? Yet a miracle happened. So there are beliefs in miracles happening. There are beliefs in that our belief systems are so puny compared to what is truly. But if we continue to tell the story and we continue a belief system that's not working, it's what's going to continually be showing up in your life. So I got the opportunity to spend time in my roots where I came from for the last few weeks, right? So I look at those roots of where I came from and the stories we told about ourselves as children, the stories that were told to us about who we were. And for me, it was, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to believe that. So I had to take myself out of the family structure. Well, that caused upheaval in our family structure, right? Now,
Mm.
if I was attached to having the family structure, I'd have gone right back to the stories and perpetuated that. But I don't have an attachment to that family structure, which is a beautiful thing. Don't be attached to anything. Um, I had to go out and create my own news stories, right?
I'm sorry. You said don't be attached to anything. I think most our families, I think, would be completely different minds. If you talk to any of my family, most definitely it would be completely different minds.
Yep.
How come? What
Well,
there?
there,
You not attached to your family, not thinking about them, not supporting them, not being there all the time.
what I'm when I'm let's have a little clarity around that. I'm glad you said that, because it's not about being attached or having alignment with your family. It's about, what are you attached to in that family? Is it more important for you to stay attached to a family that has a strong belief in well, we'll stay with the poverty theme. You know, you can interchange that with anything that's going on in your life. If it's more important to stay attached to the story, then you're going to stay in alignment. And that's what I mean about it. You can still love your family and tell a different story. You can still love your family and make a new decision about your life. Love and attachment are not the same thing. Attachment comes if I'll give an example. When children are in an abusive situation and they have a family structure where abuse is happening in their lives, whether it be physical, mental, sexual, whatever it is, there's an abuse happening in their life. And if the child is given an option at some point to come out of that, they normally choose to stay in it because it's what they know. It's what they know. So they know how to respond, even if it's not good, right? But they know it. To take them out of it would be a whole new thing, and they would not even know how to be in that. So does that make sense? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get attached to things that aren't working for us or are harmful or painful because we're attached to a sick family structure. So attachment always breeds misery. And the Buddha talks about this when the Buddha was speaking about all attachment. If you could look at everything that you are in misery about, go back and see what you're attached to. Attachment equals your story. Attachment equals the belief, the lie. So if there is something like in our family, I'm picking, this is not the truth for me. In our family, everyone dies of cancer. I've heard that so many times. In our family, in my family, everyone dies of cancer. I go, well, great. You could be the first one not to, right? Right. But if they believe and they're attached to that story, guess what?
They
Everyone is,
will.
yeah. Right. The universe can only bring to you what your belief system is. So if you have that belief system, but if you had a different belief, oh, I see that everyone in my family has died from cancer. Let me take a look at how my family's been living and what they believe in. And let's take a look at that. And maybe I could maybe I could have some different ideas. Maybe I could have a different thought that I am whole and healthy and every part of my being sparkles in vitality. Well, that's a way different story than everyone in my family dies of cancer. So and I bring this forward. Spirit really wanted to bring this forward because it gave me that quote several times to take a look at.
Can you please repeat this? I'm all and healthy.
My new affirmation.
Yeah, I'm all and healthy.
I'm whole. I'm whole.
Yeah.
WHOLE. I'm whole and healthy, and every cell of my being vibrates and spark. I don't know. I just made it up, Dagan. We can just make it up. My being is in resonance with life, you know, anything like that. Tell a new story. So I just had some thoughts flash across my mind. Oh gosh, welcome to my brain. uh yeah, so when we look at any story we're telling ourselves, I invite everyone to just go, wait, let me just tell a new story here. Let me repeat this. I am whole and healthy. I am filled with the living presence of God. I am filled with the vibrance and the vitality of creator energy. You see, those words are so filled with life and light, and it makes you feel good. But when you say, my whole family dies of cancer, well, it's
What's
like
the difference?
it's like thud, right? It's like, oh God, you know. So it's just so interesting when you begin to look at the stories we have been telling ourselves, because those stories become our beliefs. And you can track it back and go, were these my stories or were these the stories of my family? In my family, I was always the weird one. I was pegged the weird one from the get go, right? I remember once my sister said, we don't know how you got in this family. I
I
was like,
know.
yeah, right?
I know. That's the same as me.
Yeah, because we are different, right? But we could have just as easily, okay, if our attachment to having family was more important, we could get attached to that. But we got attached to who we are, which is, you know, what are we? Emissaries of light, emissaries of love. You know, and no wonder they called us the weird ones, right? Because they're not in that frequency. They're not in that frequency. They're in a whole other different frequency. And if we say, okay, well, I'll just be like my family, then okay, you become like your family. If you choose to become the different one, if you become, use it as a badge of honor, you
But
know.
I think it's not even a conscious choice. I was steered in that
That's right.
direction,
That's right.
and
It
at some point it was really huge steer and huge push, yeah, to actually go different way, to choose get out of 3D world and
exactly.
this system thing, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. You
And
know,
imagine,
it's interesting when you begin to listen to your higher self, what I'd call, you know, your right brain self, right? We begin to listen to the love messages that are coming through, the messages of hope and life and love and goodness. When we take those and begin to integrate those into our lives and move in our world with that, we bless others. If we go the opposite direction and become beings of doingness and my whole family dies of cancer and we don't have enough and all of that, it becomes your reality. It becomes it's all the universe can bring to you. So play with the universe this week, you know, tell a different story. The universe only can respond to what your belief system is. So make a new belief. Yeah.
yeah. And those who are watching us, please say hello to us. If you have some questions, please put in a comment section and I will ask Morgan this question. So please say hello to us. Don't be shy. We want your input.
Yeah. And then when you, I'm going to just keep on talking, even though you so, I was thinking about our magical selves, right? My granddaughter painted me a little picture that's up there on my altar. It says, "Today I open my heart to the magic and the wonderment of life." I open my
Wow.
heart to the magic and the wonderment of life. And it's just precious. It's just got like a unicorn on it. It's so cute. And I leave it up on my altar table because it's the first thing I see. Because one of the first things I do in the morning is feed my fish, and it's right there. And I say it out loud. Today, I open my heart to the magic and the wonderment of life. What a beautiful thought to wake up to. What a beautiful way. And what an expectation I have of the universe to bring me the wonder and the magic of life, right? So when we begin to use our I am statements, our I statements in that powerful way, like if we woke up and go, "Oh my God, not another day," it's raining outside again, and you start the groan, well, okay, so it is, right? But when you wake up to, "I open my heart to the magic and the wonderment of life," it's like thoughts come in, ideas come in, appreciation comes in. Um, yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what was laying on my heart today, to help people with telling you story. Write down speak out your story. Um, be the word has frequency. A word has frequency, and so when you speak your I am statements out loud, they hold power. The universe kind of knows you mean it.
Today date is 25/04/2024. Yeah, but
Yep.
yesterday was a very interesting date. I was sort of sad we didn't have show yesterday because yesterday was 24/04/24. Yeah.
Yep. 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 That would have been cool, huh?
It would be very cool, but maybe you can know something about those energies, what brought at the moment again another full moon and what sort of
Yeah,
energies it
we
brought.
just came. We're now in our post full moon state. We've just come out from the influences of 2 days of beautiful. They called it the pink moon. Well, pink is a frequency that I is a higher frequency, the heart frequency. Typically in the chakra system, it's green. But what came to me several years ago was a higher frequency of the heart was that pink, and so this was a pink moon. So I kind of I kind of made it mean because I can make it mean anything I want, right? And I'm telling a story about it, that it was continuing to open my heart to bring heart loving frequencies to every heart on this planet. And one of the things I say when I look at, people who are doing, bad or nefarious deeds in the world, I say, may your heart be softened. May your heart be softened, because when our hearts are hard, not much can get in, right? Hard-hearted people don't let people in, they don't let love in, but soft-hearted people can let that good energy, beautiful energy in. So I use that moon to talk about the heart and be in the heart energy. And of course, it's new energy too. It's energy of leadership right now. Everyone should become a leader. If you don't want to have a show, or teach classes, that doesn't matter. Be a leader in your own life. When was the last time you were a leader in your life, right? Or are you being led around by the old belief systems of your family, your school, your whatever structures? be a leader in your own life and take responsibility for your own life. So the moon was about that too. It's also about great changes. So this is a great time to begin these new I am belief systems for yourself. This is a new time, a new, what they call a new age, and we're seeding it with our beliefs, our energies. So what is it that you believe? And I invite you to, if you don't like the belief systems you came from, if you see they're not nourishing and beautiful, then tell a new story. Be brave enough to say, you know, that didn't work, and I can let that go. I can let that go. That's not who I am. And then begin to say who you are. And we've talked about this on many shows about the power of the I am statements. I am opening my heart to love. I am love. I am the power and the presence of the creator right here, because that's true. We are all the power and the presence of the creator right here, right where you sit. And if you were just that and you maintain that thought, what a powerful purpose you've had for humanity, because we're here for humanity at this time, to help humanity remember who they are. Like you have that beautiful Pleiadian energies that are coming through to you as an emissary of Pleiadian wisdom and light and peace and prosperity and goodness, right? You didn't learn that in your family structure, I bet.
No,
No.
I actually only recently with you, working with you, I find out where my roots, original roots are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all I knew somehow when I hear about different uh other planet entities, yeah, beings,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I I been hearing lots of different ones, but none of them resonated with me. But as soon as I hear, any time I hear Pleiadian, straight away something resonated with me.
Yep.
I
Yep. That's
didn't know
yep.
anything more, but it's just all the time. It was just of them. Everything else, okay, fine, they exist, fine, yeah. But as soon Pleiadians, straight away my antennas was up.
That's
Okay,
right. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. You come into resonance with who you are, right? You come into resonance with who you are. So you can try to come into resonance with who you are not, right? And that would mean, oh, you know, I can't do that. That's too weird. I need to just stay focused on being a human and having a job and all that, right? That's being focused on who you are not. But when you become focused on who you are, you light up. Your being lights up, your brain lights up, your heart lights up, everything lights up within you because you're coming alive. I call it coming online. You're coming online. You're awake to who you are. Now this is the fun part. It's wow, okay, this is who I am. And out of this I amness, you can ask to be taught all about your gifts, your life as this instrument, as this emissary. Who am I? And you know, so I'm going to rely on the Holy Spirit to guide me in everything. That's the most important part, because if you don't have the Holy Spirit, which is our conduit, our connection to Source, uh, if we don't have that, then we're flailing around in with ego and in a world of a whole bunch of egos running around, having beliefs, all kinds of different belief systems. But we rise above that and we awaken to conscious creation, becoming conscious and aware of what we want the universe to bring to us, to that we, that's our attractor factor, is that belief system. Yeah.
I think, do you have something more to say today? Because we have reached the time when we can start meditation.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. I just probably rehashed the same old stuff. It's it's the same thing, right? And it's really simple. But people want to make it complex, and I would just say, leave the complex. That's a belief system too. Uh, Life is easy. Life is enjoyable. Life is good. Um, Maybe start having some belief systems with that. All right, yeah. So let's see what Spirit wants to talk about today. Oh, beloveds, it's so good to be here today. Take a breath in with me. And I invite you to bring your whole being self here. So if you know that you have some place to be later, let that be for right now and just bring that energy right to where you are. And if you're thinking about something you have to do, well, that'll be there too. Just let it be and bring your energy back to yourself fully and completely, and feel what it feels like to bring your energy back to yourself. And Spirit's guiding me to ask everyone here that is listening today and who will listen in the future. We're going to look at what we're attached to, and we're going to learn how to release and let go. Just take a breath in. And we're being asked to think about our family, the family of origin that we were born into. And maybe you have a mom, and maybe you have a dad, and maybe you have siblings, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. Maybe you have grands that were in your life, or great grands that were in your life. Just think about them, bring them all to your mind. The mom, the dad, maybe the dad didn't stay around. Maybe they've died. Maybe you didn't have the influence of your parents. Maybe you have adoptive parents. It doesn't matter. Whoever that is that you call your family of origin, bring them to your awareness now. Just take a breath in as you witness your family. And as you're looking at them, remind yourself, what is the dominant story that my family told? What is the dominant story? And as you think about that dominant story that was in your family, observe it like you're observing it, not that it's a part of who you are. You're just observing, oh, that's the story my family told. But ask yourself, is that my story? Is that my truth? Take a breath in. So, if that was not your truth, that was not your story, what story would you like to tell? Story would you prefer? And just think about what would feel better. from the story you had been told to the story that more resonates with who you are. And maybe imagine that your family could get on the same page with you and realize their stories weren't true at all. And they're going to follow your lead. So, what story do you want to lead with in your family? What story, what belief would you like to change in your family for your family? Take a breath in. And this is a story that you're going to plant within your family of origin, a new story, a new belief, a new way of being. What's that choice? What's that belief? And take a breath in on that new belief. And imagine that you're broadcasting that belief to all of your family, to your mom, to your dad, to your siblings, to your cousins, to your grands, your great grands. And imagine they like that story too. They like this new belief. And now imagine that everyone in your family of origin, going back however many generations you choose, are now believing this new belief, this new story. And imagine what that frequency will look like in your world. Imagine what the frequency looks like in the quantum world. Is it alive and vibrant? And now, with everyone having this new thought, this new belief, I want you to take and just bring all that energy back into your own heart. Just bring it all back to you. Let your family go. And just bring all that beautiful energy back to you, what that feels like to have this belief now. What's your experience of this belief? Who are you in this belief? What's possible for you in this belief? And as you begin to entertain this new frequency, this new belief, this new story about yourself, as you begin to entertain that, feel how your body feels. And think about what your outlook on life is right now. Is everything possible? What else is possible? With your breath, bring yourself back to your heart with this new belief, with this new idea, with this remembering of what's really true. And how are you feeling? Because we're always going to look for now the good feeling, the high feeling of love and of bliss and joy. And then ask yourself, is this easy or is this hard? And if you choose hard, the universe is going to say, okay, it's hard. But if you say it's easy, the universe is going to say, okay, it's easy. Which do you choose? Take a breath in. And if you choose easy, what do you need to let go of so that it can be easy? And just come back to your heart with your new belief, with your new idea, with a new frequency that you've shared so lovingly with your family of origin and your ancestors, that you can share so easily now with your world. You become the resonance of this new belief system. And as you become the resonance of this new belief system, watch how you shine. Watch how you sparkle and grow. And if this is possible, what else is possible? Take a breath in. And beloveds, we leave you with this exercise that you may do over and over and over again. And we welcome you to do this all the time as we work towards lifting ourselves out of the lower density frequencies into the higher frequencies where our DNA is now coming online, where our brain is becoming more usable. We have access to more of our brain. We have more access to all that is possible. So we leave you here with this idea of changing your story, changing the beliefs, because it's all changeable, and aligning yourself with that higher frequency, that beautiful feeling, a feeling of everything is possible. Take a breath in. And we leave you with the last thought. What else is possible? And so it is. And welcome back to your Earth experience.
Ooh, okay then. Let's come back to Earth experience.
This is called bringing heaven to earth.
Yes, but for me, this part is most difficult in all shows because I have to speak after you and after meditation, so I'm completely zoned out and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Whew. Okay, thank you everybody who watching us. Thank you for your support and your presence here, and I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can reach many, many more people. We hope we're coming back next week. If nothing changes with us, then maybe Jeanne will join us next week. From our hearts to yours, thank you very much for watching, and God bless.